Hi everyone, Scorp here, continuing this Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist The Roses Redux 2 playthrough, where we're playing rocks in spirit only. So I did the reincarnation, and then recording software broke, so I had to restart my computer, so I just saved the reincarnation and get to show you guys the aftermath, which I got a Magician of Faith and Echo Gallon at Dark Piercing Light, instead of having a nice window that shows it. I figure I'll just put both Dark Piercing Lights in the deck. It's a card that's gonna pretty much just get tossed out, but sometimes it's nice to know what your opponent's playing, or what you have to play around. It would save you against a bad reaction to Samachi that for some reason will kill you. Wonder who that could have possibly affected. Couldn't never be me, right? Either way, I mean, that kind of thing happens. But yeah, we did the reincarnation, got Magician of Faith. Technically, I should probably put in a password for another one. 12 deck cost for literally a Grave Robber style effect is just giga broken, so... we're just gonna hard look for Ancient Jar since, as was pointed out in the comments, the only card that matters in this deck is Ancient Jar. So let's go hard look for one. It's kind of scary if you're playing against a deck like this, like in PvP, because like you usually only play like, 20 or so monsters in your deck. And if you get, I mean, this deck can easily play well over 20 traps. Like, you can very quickly run out of cards that can actually be used to fight your opponent. Because if all of your cards get paralyzed, you just lose the game. Oh, green captain, nice. We found ourselves a target, boys. A 1000 attack creature? Sign me right up. And the AI doesn't destroy its own cards, but I think the most depressing thing that you have to do when playing against this deck as a person is you have to destroy your own cards just to get to your opponent. It's not even your opponent killing your cards. It's your opponent making you kill your own cards, which is a whole nother level of pain you have to deal with. Well, good thing these don't fuse. Well, at this point we can pretty much just hand loop our opponent for 30, so we just need this. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the swords on him and then start the hand loop process. The only issue is I don't really get him to play any more cards. So we'll see what we end up doing here, but yeah, he's not going to play another card. There's no real good way for me to get to him either. A 3k beat stick and I can't get over that. So, how are we gonna beat this guy? Well, I guess I have Magician of Faith, so... Well, none of those say I beat my opponent. Oops. Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to draw another 5 cards and play them this turn, so... Rigorous Lever is kind of sometimes just a good way to get through your deck quickly. Oh hey, a Tremendous Fire. Sometimes we're just gonna get there with burn damage. So, believe we probably have here. Also, remember to flip your Ancient Jar back over when you flip it down with Darkness Approaches, so you don't let your opponent actually be able to play the game. Oh hey, look! Just Desserts, that's lethal. So if he were still able to play cards for a while, which is going to be hard on this field because he doesn't have many summoning spaces available to him, I was going to just hand loop him for 30 and then use a Soul Eater to get strong enough to beat over his 1000 attack creature and kill him, but that didn't exactly happen this game. I missed that Shadow Spell 3 times. But regardless, a win is a win. And it didn't take very long, so that was nice. We'll just go ahead and do a quick reincarnation. I don't expect to get anything too fantastic here. Change Slime's not bad. Good option for a deck like this to just have extra removal. Control decks like this just... The goal is to basically take away all of your opponent's threats, and then laugh at them as they slowly lose the game to whatever you want to make them lose with. It's not exactly an enjoyable play pattern to play against, but it's probably closest to... I mean, it's definitely close to Mystic Mine in the TCG. Maybe even close to like a Blue Mage in Magic. Usually they prefer to just counter the things before they're played, not prevent them from playing the game. There's nothing that Goblin Fan works on in this matchup. Also, Paralyzing Potion's useless, since it doesn't work on machines, so just go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, Keith. Your AI is doing well as always. Oh, that's a real shame. I definitely don't need Goblin Secret Remedy. This game is probably going to be over very fast. Let's see if we can draw a Rigorous Lever. now would be a good time to draw one, so... Nope. But we did draw some other stuff, so that's nice. You're just going to drop an acid trap hole over here, and that should kill whatever creature this is, so I can actually send my shadow spell over to destroy that spell that he has sitting to his left. Oh wow, acid trap hole got a metal Zoa. It's a really good thing to trap. Also, if you ever mess up your camera and want it to go back to normal, you can just press in the stick and that will get it for you. Just a small tip for anyone wondering the control scheme. I know it's an old game, but that's a rare control at least. It's at least one that I haven't really needed to use often. Oh, hey, a magic jammer. Nice. Now you don't have a magic jammer for my tremendous fire. Yeah, that's the main issue with like cards like Magic Jammer is like, oh yeah, you countered swords. Congratulations. Now, what about the card that actually matters? Oh hey, a rigorous lever. Let's go. I don't need that Ukazi, so we'll just discard cards here, basically. Ooh, that hand was terrible, Keith. Oh, there's a monster. Nice. Goodbye, slot machine. It's a pain, you'll never move again. If only there was a card in this game that just destroyed cards that were spellbound. Well, what do you got, bud? An acid trap hole, huh? And a machine conversion factory. Also, Pot the Trick is probably a good 3-of for a deck like this, because if your opponent actually spellbinds you, Ancient Jar is reciprocal, so you'd have a good option to unspellbind yourself. I technically have lethal next turn. Yeah. I don't know. Do I kill him with... What do I kill him with, right? I have so many options. I'm just spoiled for choice over here, and it's not great for her opponent. Ooh. Those are some good cards. Now, unfortunately, he's not going to play any more cards, but just showing off the idea here. You make a 3800 Soul Eater, and now we can just send the Soul Eater in to finish the job. And if you aren't, oh wow, my opponent isn't summoning. Well, that sure is a shame. Goodbye. But if they summoned again, they draw another full hand, and then you could just Rigorous Lever with the Darkness Approaches, get rid of their entire hand again, and then they're really in a bad spot. Well, I kind of wanted the Dark Energy triple, but when I didn't get Dark Energy in the first 3 slots, I was like, oh well, I guess we'll just go for another triple, and then I missed that too. Oh well, that's fine. We don't really need anything else. Jar Control is just kind of gonna win the game at this point. Next up, we have to do a Shizu, so I'm just going to go ahead and do another reincarnation. Jigen Bakudan should be fine to reincarnate. We don't need 3 Jigen Bakudans. I'll be honest, there's very few cards that we actually need. And there's no way we're gonna get hit the like 3 in 700 to actually hit another Magician of Faith. I mean, it's not that bad of odds. It's probably like 3 out of 150 or something. So there's probably 150 possible options at that cost range. Or so. Otherwise, I mean, this deck really can go one of a couple ways in terms of how to get a win condition. Burn is probably the easiest, but Burn is countered by Goblin Fan, so then you have to play Heavy Storms and Magicka Neutralizing Force Fields, and just go down a rabbit hole. You can also just eventually win from running your opponent out of stuff, but I think that would be a little bit boring for a playthrough like this. Oh, we're not going to really be able to burn her out, huh? I am just going to go ahead and drop a Magician of Faith here first. It would technically be possible if we had a second Magician of Faith to burn somebody out, but this game, we don't, so we'll just drop some traps and let our opponents run into them. Oh, that's never going to get to be used again. I am just going to put down a whole bunch of traps. Oh, hey, it's Tears of the Mermaid. I think we already have 3 of those. That's actually really good for us because now they're only like 1 summon ahead of us because they're going to trigger this shadow spell. You can catch up pretty easily, though, with an Invitation to a Dark Sleep or a Swords. It's one of the best things about a deck like this, is you get to take back initiative from your opponent going first turn 1, which is nice. I am just going to put this here. Just start hand looping my opponent. Oh, he got rid of a twin-headed. That's pretty nice. Nice. Good job, opponent. That's a shadow spell. Well, now we're in a very, very good spot. I am just going to start hand looping them. But we might as well do this. Get ourselves an extra summon that way. We'll just Darkness Approach. And blow up our hand. We don't really care what our hand had. We've got pretty much everything we need now. And we'll just go ahead and flip Ancient Jar now. Make it so that she can never really get to us now. There's a wall of her own cards in the way. Now, I can't really do it this turn, but I don't really want to anyways. She only has 2 cards in her hand, so... Ooh, good. Soul the Pure. That means she'll play another card next turn. Okay. Just do one of these. And get rid of another 4 cards. Since we haven't flipped our cards yet, or summoned since our last time we summoned, we don't even lose cards for it. Do another one. And we get rid of another 4 cards. This would be such a horrible feeling if you were an opponent of a deck like this. I didn't flick the Ancient Jar, by the way. It's a mistake. Oh well. Oh well, we'll just drop this here. Oh, poor Aqua Dragon. Well... let's shed a little light on the situation, shall we? What are we working with? Oh, hey, a mirror wall? Oh, it tears. Okay, we can do this. That'll get her to summon again, because she has a space next to her now. Conveniently, I have another Darkness Approaches in my hands, so get to do that. And that means more dead cards. Oof, 4 more monsters. And we'll just add the Darkness Approaches back. This duel is basically over. Now, if you had a single Dark Hole in your deck, that would be pretty much enough to end the game at this point. Because you can just obliterate every card that they have. Okay. That should get them to summon. For the last time. Now we just have to go like this. Now we no longer need the darkness approaches, so do that. Flip Rigger Sleever. And its effect still goes off conveniently. Oh, Ancient Jar, why? Okay, it's fine. We'll just grab a Magical Neutralizing Force Field. Okay. So we just do this. Now this should delete the mirror wall. I'll go ahead and Magical Neutralizing Force Field. This is going to unparalyze all of our opponents, but it gets rid of the Shadow of Eyes, so now I can flip this. And we can just flip an Invitation. Now our opponents no longer have cards that can actually move. I'm not going to flip the Darkness Approaches yet, because otherwise my Ancient Jar won't get a turn. And I'll let my opponent out, and I don't want to let my opponent out. It wouldn't really matter, because I have Invitation still, so... but I want to see what my opponent has, so we'll just grab back a Swords of Revealing Light. Make this as safe as possible. Flip that. Oops. Oh. I'll use these, get rid of this. End with a Shadow spell, since that way we have one extra good card just in case. And our opponent is in a very bad spot now. I mean, they've been in a very bad spot for a while, but it's worse. Oh hey, it tears. It's a shame for them that I can see that. None of these are cards I want, so... we'll just get rid of them. We'll just trigger the tears. Doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, this Aqua Dragon ended up getting its stats reverted, so it's actually stronger than it was since it got double Shadow Spelled or whatever. But it's okay. Soul Eater will get stronger. And now we just get to slowly eat our opponent. They have no cards that they can use to defend themselves, so here we'll go like this because that'll bait his AI to move to this space. Yeah. Do that. Now we can't go anywhere. I have lethal over the Thunder Dragon next turn, so either chase down his leader, or I can hit him like this, and he loses. So, Systematic basically killed every card from his deck, removed all of his monsters from play, and killed him. It's a fair and balanced way to play the game, right? Oh man. Well, at least I can reincarnate Negate Attack, since it's a card I really dislike. And I like the idea of destroying it, so... we'll be back tomorrow with the results of reincarnation of Negate Attack. We'll probably get ourselves another, like, either Darkness Approaches or Magician of Faith or something. And then we should be able to finish out the last 3 opponents tomorrow. This isn't the fastest deck. It does not set any records for speed, but it definitely sets the record for the most misery you can cause your opponent, so sometimes that's a good thing. Otherwise, thank you all for your comments. I appreciate them. I enjoy reading them. And it lets these videos reach a broader audience, so thank you for doing that. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.